Hello, just want to give you a little update of what I'm working on right now. This is a little effect. And my goal is to make a whole package of different effects to kind of show you a social media link. And this is something I'm working on right now. So right now, I'm going to turn off the depth of field just to speed up the render. And what I have right now is a way to bring it up. And actually, I added different icons: Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, Vimeo, email, LinkedIn, Google+, Skype, Flickr, Tumblr, SoundCloud, RSS, and I have a custom one so we can add our own. I'm still working on that. And none if we just want the text alone, and I'm also working on that as well. So let's go and let's add a Twitter one here. And there's a few things I added here that for variety. I added a way that you can turn on or off the rotates, the different kinds of rotates if you want the animation to happen. So I can, for example, turn off the rotate on the Y. I can turn off the rotate on the X. And I can choose which ones I want. If I just want it to just be on the Z, so it just does a Z rotation in, I can do that as well. Or I can, just leave the X on and turn off the Z. So there can be different options, and that gives you different kinds of looks. Also, we can choose where we want the animation to start. If we want it to start from the top, we can do that as well. So it starts from the top, and we can also choose from left or right. And we can use or off if you don't want any at all. We can also choose from close or far away. So if you want it to be far away, you can start off far away and then come towards you and then stop right there. Or you can also leave that off. So I'm still playing with this. I'm going to add some more transitions and different effects to come in. I also added a bounce control, so if you don't want that little bounce effect to happen, it just kind of just flies in to where it's supposed to go. And that's it. This is all still a work in progress. I have some cleaning up to do. I also added this flare here, which actually was a cool little tutorial I followed by Andy Dolphin. He had a really cool tutorial on how to do these lens flare, and using one control allows the flares to follow along perfectly. So I had a good time enjoying doing this tutorial. It was very insightful, so thank you, Andy Dolphin, for that. Let's see what else. And also I can turn the background on or off and to change the colors of the background. I'm going to keep adding some different effects. I'm going to see if I can have this optional icon to appear on this side, and then the text slides to the left. And also, again, this is all using behaviors. There's no keyframes at all. And if we go into motion, I'll give you a little detail of what I did. Here we go. Inside of motion, and this is one really cool thing that I discovered, is that all the animation, all the movement is based on one spring effect and a drag effect. So the cool thing about this is I added my spring, as you can see here in my close here. As you can see, here's the spring effect, and then I added a drag to kind of slow down and stop that spring effect. And I also rigged this, so this is how it controls to turn off the spring effect or minimize it or increase it. So I rigged both of these to rig to control the amount of bounciness and how much spring effect there is. From this bounce effect, I linked it to this animation control. And inside of the animation control, you see all these different links. And the cool thing about this is that all of these I added a custom mix rig so I can turn each one on or off to its own rig. Excuse me. And as you can see, here's the position Y, which is the bounce effect. The spring is on that position Y, but all I did was apply that position Y to the X, to the Y, to the Z, to the X. Let me disable this. To the Z, to the position. I also affected it to the rotations and to the position. So this one bounce effect is driving everything. So everything kind of looks uniform with the bounce together. So when it comes towards the camera, away from the camera, it has that same bounce with the rotation. So everything kind of bounces out together, and you get a more uniform look. And the cool thing is also all I have to do is control this one spring effect, and it drives all these animations together. And then from there, I linked the position X, Y, Z, rotation X, Y, Z to a group where I placed all the icons under. And then for the icons, I just rigged each one with a scale under the properties to turn it on or off, depending on what the user wants to use. So that's pretty much it. It looks a little complex, but the way it works at the end, it just makes it a lot easier to give a lot more customization to the user. Also, I made the icons grayscale, as you can see here, and then I added a tint, so I can just customize the tint one time and just publish. All I had to do is publish that once, and it affects whatever icon is under there at one time. That's pretty much it. Here's the rigs, here's the animation controls, the bounce control, and to turn on each one depending on how you want it to look. And I just want to give you a little, I like sharing what I've discovered, and I think the best thing I discovered is using this one bounce spring effect to drive everything, the rotations and the positions and all that, using just that one animation. So anyway, let me know what you think. This is something I'm still working on, so I'm going to add a whole bunch of other features and a lot of other elements to this. And I'm going to create some lower thirds and some, multiple screen, everything dealing with the social world. So anyway, let me know what you think. This is just a little update. I just wanted to share what I'm working on. Oh, another little thing I forgot to add is a little detail that I added. Just so everybody knows, it's the little details that I think sells in animation. I added a light that tracks to that flare. So when that flare appears, you see the light gets brighter. You can see on the floor, it gets brighter. And then as the flare goes away, the floor, it gets darker again. So I think these little kind of things is that a little extra element of detail to the animation. And I also added some depth of field when the animation is close to the camera, and also when it goes a little further away from the camera, it adds a little bit of depth of field to add a little realism. So anyway, I'll keep working on this and I'll keep you posted. Let me know what you think and have an amazing day.